Welcome to the deep dive. You've joined us today for a really special deep dive. It's actually the very first day of your new course, Content Creation with AI.
That's right.
We're going to unpack some truly amazing ideas that will, kickstart your journey into becoming a powerful creator in this super exciting world of artificial intelligence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And here's something pretty cool to think about right away. This deep dive, the one you're listening to right now,
Yeah.
well, we actually created it using some of the exact same tools and concepts we're about to explore with you.
No way. Really?
Yeah. We started by just kind of letting our thoughts flow, like thinking out loud or just jotting down quick notes. We call that inner monologue.
Okay.
Then we took those raw ideas and shaped them up with help from AI tools like ChatGPT, and we organized everything using another tool called Notebook LM.
Wow.
So you're actually getting a live demonstration of what we'll be talking about. It's pretty neat.
That is a really cool way to start a class, isn't it? Like seeing the tools in action from minute one. So, okay, get ready to jump in because we're about to explore how you can unlock your own incredible ideas and turn them into something real. Right now, right here. All right, let's dig into this first big idea. Imagine you're holding a tiny seed. Just picture it in your hand.
Okay.
It might not look like much, right? Just a small, maybe ordinary looking thing. But inside that tiny seed, it holds the amazing blueprint for something enormous.
Like what?
Like something that could grow into a giant towering tree, maybe. Or like even a whole forest bursting with life and, brand new possibilities.
That's a powerful picture, isn't it? And here's why it really matters to you listening right now.
Why's that?
Because you, right here, right now, you have the opportunity to plant the seeds of an idea that will one day be worth over $1 million.
Whoa, hang on. $1 million? Seriously?
Seriously. Now, look, it isn't just some, fun, far-off dream. It's a real, achievable possibility. Think about it throughout history. Countless valuable things. Amazing inventions, hit songs, popular stories. They all started as just a tiny idea. Someone simply dared to plant that seed and, well, watch it grow.
Huh. That's a really fascinating perspective. So, okay, this class isn't just about learning cool facts or like memorizing stuff for a test.
Not at all.
It's about understanding that you already have this power, the power to plant those valuable seeds of your own.
Exactly. It's about starting something small, maybe something you're just curious about, that could truly grow into something amazing and valuable for you, maybe even for the world. Your ideas have real potential.
Okay, I get that.
Which kind of leads us to wonder, right, how is this class and this deep dive, different from other ways you might learn stuff?
Yeah, good question.
We're not just going to throw a bunch of information at you to memorize, like reading a textbook chapter, answering questions, that kind of thing.
Right.
The really cool thing about this approach is that we've actually designed this material to sort of anticipate your thoughts and feelings, to spark your ideas, get your energy going as you listen and engage.
So you're inviting us to be part of it.
Totally. We want you to be an active part of the learning, not just sitting back and listening.
I understand. So it means you'll get out of this as much as you put in. Makes sense. The more you think, explore, participate, the more you learn.
Precisely. But here's where it gets really interesting. Here's the breakthrough part.
Okay.
Your effort, your curiosity, your creativity, all that stuff you put in, it gets multiplied by exponential technology and an exponential mind.
Multiplied. Exponential.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds big. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It's like having a superpower that helps your brain work even faster and smarter. And speaking of exponential, that's a word you'll probably hear a lot. It's important. It basically describes something that grows incredibly, incredibly fast.
Faster than just adding things up.
Way faster. Not just adding 1 + 1 + 1. It's multiplying.
Yeah.
Getting bigger and bigger at like an astonishing speed. Think of a tiny snowball rolling down a really steep hill.
Oh, yeah, I can picture that. It starts small.
Right. But it picks up more snow, gets bigger and bigger, and goes faster and faster the further it rolls.
Gotcha.
Or another way to think about it is like the really steep part of a hockey stick curve on a graph, where it's flat for a bit and then just whoosh, rockets straight up.
Right. The steep part.
That's exponential growth.
That's a great image. And here's what's so important about that right now for you listening. We're not at the slow, flat part of that hockey stick anymore. Not even close. You are entering this amazing field of, well, consciousness and learning at a time when we are already rapidly climbing the asymptote, that's the fancy word for that steep upward curve,
So things are moving fast.
super fast.
But
It means the speed at which your mind can expand and learn new things is far greater than the rate that your parents or maybe older siblings learned new information. Your generation. You have a truly unique advantage for learning and creating because of these powerful new tools.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, because of this rapid growth, this incredible speed, there is just, wow, far more information out there now than ever before.
Like how much more?
So much more that, get this, you couldn't possibly consume all of the new information created in a single day, in 100 lifetimes.
Whoa. 100 lifetimes just for one day's worth of new stuff.
Yep. Just imagine trying to read every new website, watch every new video, listen to every new song every single day. It's impossible.
Okay. Yeah, my brain hurts just thinking about it.
Right. So the really big question becomes, how do you deal with that? That massive, flood of information. How do you make sense of it all and find what's actually useful for you?
That is a huge challenge. So what does this mean? What do you do?
Well, it means you need to develop something called agency.
Agency. Okay, what does that mean? Like being a secret agent?
Not quite like James Bond. In this context, agency means you take control of your life, specifically your learning life.
Taking control.
It means you're the boss. You make conscious decisions about what information you consume. Like, you choose which videos to watch, which articles to read, what things you pay attention to.
Okay, so being selective.
Exactly. Yeah. But maybe even more importantly, agency means you decide what information you create. You become a producer, not just a consumer.
Creating. That's the key difference.
That second part, about creating, it's absolutely crucial. This class and this deep dive, we really want to make sure that information isn't just a one-way street, where you just passively take in what others give you.
Right.
We want to empower you to make sure you are creating, not just consuming. Think of it like being a chef again.
Yeah.
You don't just eat delicious meals that someone else made.
You learn how to cook them yourself.
Exactly. You learn how to take the ingredients, the information, and transform them into something new and exciting, your own dish.
Okay, this leads us to a really big kind of aha moment, I think. With this infinite amount of information out there, you're saying creating actually is consuming. How does that work? That sounds a bit backwards.
It does sound a bit strange at first, right? But think about that chef again, in the kitchen.
Okay, got the chef.
They don't just eat the raw ingredients, do they? Like munch on a raw onion or a stick of butter.
No, hopefully not.
Right. They take those ingredients, a little bit of this vegetable, a pinch of that spice, maybe some protein, they mix them, they cook them, they combine them, and they create something completely new and delicious, a finished meal.
Yeah.
So they are consuming those ingredients, but they're doing it by transforming them into something else entirely. Your ideas, the information you gather, they become the ingredients for making new knowledge, new things.
So by creating something new, I'm actually consuming and processing the information in a deeper way.
Precisely. Rather than only consuming the information that's handed to you by others, it's so crucial that we learn how to create the information that we want and need to consume. Think about how it used to be, maybe even just a few years ago. If you wanted to learn something like how to build a cool robot, or maybe write an exciting fantasy story, you mostly had to search for answers, right?
Yeah.
On Google or YouTube, you'd find articles people wrote, videos people made, maybe stories based on their experiences.
Sure, that's how I usually learn stuff.
And that's still incredibly valuable. Learning from others, from experts, that's always important, don't get me wrong. But NW.
Wow, man. You have so much more power to shape your own experience. It's really different.
How so?
You can actually ask these AI tools like ChatGPT and NotebookLM to generate stuff for you. Like you could ask it to generate a whole new TED Talk about, I don't know, the history of skateboarding, or maybe a script for a short play about talking animals, or even a story that's personalized just for you with characters you suggest.
Whoa. So instead of just finding stuff that's already out there, you're co-creating it. You're making something new with the help of AI. It's like, imagine being able to invent a brand new flavor of ice cream just by thinking about it and asking a super smart assistant to help you make it real.
Okay, that's awesome. Ice cream assistant. I like that.
Me too. But it leads us to the next important question, thinking about what comes next in our journey. Where do all these amazing ideas come from in the first place?
Good question. They don't just appear out of thin air, right?
Right. You are always constantly building what we call an idea inventory.
Yeah.
Think of it like a like a secret treasure chest in your mind.
A treasure chest. Filled with what?
Filled with all your thoughts, things you notice, bits of knowledge you pick up, even just random curiosities or questions you have. This inventory lives in your brain, yeah, but also in notes you take, and now, importantly, in your AI tools, too.
So it's like collecting ideas.
Exactly. And every single idea in that inventory, no matter how small it seems, is like a seed. And these seeds can cross-pollinate, remix, and evolve infinitely.
Cross-pollinate, like plants.
Kind of. It means you can take two different ideas, maybe one about space and one about music, mash them together, and maybe you get an idea for a song about astronauts. You remix them, make something new and cool, maybe something totally original.
Okay, that makes sense. Combining stuff.
And here's another superpower. Once these ideas are digital, saved on your computer, or in an AI tool, they can replicate for free infinitely. You can copy, paste, share, change them endlessly.
Wow. Infinite copies.
Infinite. So if you master these tools, you truly become a master of this infinite space of ideas. You can play around in there forever.
That's a really exciting thought. It feels powerful.
It is. And what's really fascinating is that there's a clear pattern to how this works. It's called the creativity cycle. Think of it like a loop you can just keep running over and over.
A loop. Okay, what are the steps?
Well, first, you have inspiration. That's all the information you take in.
Like reading, watching videos, listening to this deep dive.
Exactly. Or even just noticing something interesting on your walk home. That's all input, inspiration.
Got it. Step 1, inspiration. What's next?
Step 2 is creativity. This is the magic part that happens inside your own head. Your brain takes that inspiration, processes it, reshapes it, connects it to other ideas you already have in your idea inventory.
So like mixing the ingredients.
Perfectly put. It's your brain playing with all those ingredients, mixing and matching, maybe asking what if.
Okay. Inspiration, then creativity. What's the last step?
The last step is action. This is the information you output. You make something real.
Like what?
It could be writing a story, drawing a picture, maybe coding a simple game, composing a piece of music, or, like you'll be doing very soon, creating your very own podcast, taking your ideas and making them tangible.
Inspiration, creativity, action. Okay, I see the loop.
And the really amazing part is you can keep running this loop again and again. You take your action, your output.
Like my finished podcast script.
Yeah, and guess what? You can feed that back in as new inspiration for the next cycle.
Whoa. So my creation becomes inspiration for more creation.
Exactly. That's how you keep building, keep iterating, keep innovating. That's how you land on ideas that are truly brand new and exciting, something that only you could make because it came from your unique loop. It's a powerful way to constantly evolve your thinking and your creations.
That's incredible. So, okay, tying this all together, what does this mean for like our future as creators? We make all this cool stuff.
Well, your best ideas, your coolest projects, your most awesome creations, all the things you make through that cycle, those become your intellectual property. Yeah. You might hear people call it IP.
Intellectual property, IP, like owning my ideas.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Think of it like your special secret recipe or your unique song lyrics or maybe an amazing drawing or invention that no one else has quite done before.
Yeah.
Yours. You created it.
Okay.
So zooming out a bit, intellectual property is basically your idea inventory made tangible. It's not just a thought floating around anymore. It's something real, something concrete that you own and you have rights to.
So I can do stuff with it.
Absolutely. You can use it, store it, manage it, maybe improve it later.
Right.
And yeah, sometimes you can even monetize this inventory, which is just a fancy way of saying you could potentially earn money from your own creations down the line.
Wow, okay.
What's truly exciting here, the big takeaway, is that you're not just a student anymore. You're an innovator. Even right now, starting today.
An innovator. Me.
Yes, you. You're someone who creates new things, new ideas, new ways of doing stuff. That's what this is all about. So just to recap, you've just been introduced to some really powerful ideas, haven't you? About how you can become a creator, not just someone who consumes information, especially in this incredible age of AI.
Definitely. My head's buzzing with ideas already.
That's great.
And it's amazing to remember the very deep dive we just listened to, this whole conversation, was actually created using that inner monologue technique, then shaped with ChatGPT, and organized with Notebook LM.
The exact same tools you'll be experimenting with in this class.
So we've seen proof that it works. You really do have the power right now to plant those potential million-dollar ideas, to develop agency, that control over your learning and creating, and to start mastering this infinite world of content creation.
Which brings us to a really important question for you to think about as you move forward from here.
What's that?
Now that you know you can plant a million-dollar idea, or at least an idea with huge potential, what idea will you plant first? What's a first seed you want to nurture?
Ooh, that's a great question to end on. Something to really chew on. We can't wait to see and hear what amazing content you create. Get ready to dive in, start that creativity cycle, and create your own podcast using these tools. And then the really fun part, listen to what you've brought to life.